are joining. I can't see you all, but Sip, Eru, anybody else who's joining, welcome. Welcome to the call. Administrator, can we get straight on to the subject of today's discussion? Today, I'm going to ask you a question, and I hope you will be happy to answer. My question to you is this: are you caught in thought? My question to you today: are you caught in thought? And let me see if anybody wants to volunteer. Otherwise, I would like to ask you. Anybody wanting to volunteer? Rumataji, you want to start? Please start.
Pranam Guruji, Shivoham.
Shivoham, namaskar, bataiye.
Guruji, nobody on earth is there who is not caught in the thought. Even the sannyasis and enlightened people also get caught in thought, though they return very soon to consciousness. And someone has very rightly said, खुद मुझको ले गया है कोई मुझसे मांग कर, खुद मुझको ले गया है कोई मुझसे मांग कर, ढूंढूं कहां मैं किससे कहूं कौन ले गया. That is the work of the thought, Guruji. That is the work of the thought. When we are caught, we are not in consciousness and we are carried away with the thought.
That is not the work of the thought. That is the work of the mind.
The mind. Yes, mind, of course.
Mind, thought mat kahiye. So today,
mind.
So my question to you is: are you caught in thought?
Yes,
correct.
Yes,
so Rumataji has given the answer. Okay, we have Swati and Yogini. Yes, Swati.
Always
caught in thought.
Either in one thought or in the other thought, but always caught in a thought.
See, that is a big problem, because I want to tell Rumataji and Swati, our problem is not to have thoughts. The problem is to be caught in thought. Because when you are caught in thought, then you are under the grind of the mind. When you are caught in thought, because if you have a thought but you're not caught, then it's fine. It's fine. The problem is to be caught in thought. Nobody, what Rumataji said, there's nobody in this world who doesn't have thought. Absolutely correct. But the question is, are you caught in thought? And that's why I'm going to ask Sudeep and Girish and Bliko, and Chotwan is already on the line. Whoever doesn't come on, I'm going to ask you today, because I want to understand. Who is caught in thought? How many of you are caught? How many of you are not? Are you caught or are you not? So I want to understand. So thank you, Swati. Yogini, and then Chotwani. Yogini.
Shivom, sir.
Hey, Shivom.
Yeah. I am caught not only in a thought, but in many thoughts.
That means you're caught. That means you are caught in the mind.
Okay. तो ऐसा नहीं हो सकता है सर, जो हम लोगों को पसंद नहीं है, जब दूर से देखते हैं, we try to avoid them. तो हमारे thoughts भी तो ऐसे है ना?
But my dear Yogini, the thought which you try to avoid, that thought only will enter your door. You know, somebody was telling me today, the moment I wake up from sleep, that damn it thought only comes to me, which I don't want. What can I do? The moment I wake up from my sleep, dang, 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 the thought is ringing my bell. So what do? That's the problem. So are you caught in thought? If you are caught in many thoughts, then you see, if you're caught in many thoughts, then the problem is then you will become a slave of the mind.
That is what we are fighting every day, sir.
Okay. So how do you overcome this? This is a challenge. So yes, Ashok Chotwani. Ashok Chotwani. So Yogini, I'm leaving you with the question. How do you overcome this?
Right, sir. I'll come back.
Yes, Chotwani, please unmute. Unmute.
Sure, sir.
Sure. Yes, sir.
Sir, nowadays, only sometime I caught in the thoughts.
Okay.
Only sometime, rarely.
Otherwise?
Otherwise, I have peace of mind, sir. Whenever thought come, mostly of past mistakes, I immediately activate my intellect, discriminate and decide the solution.
Okay.
And close the thought. And I will get peace, sir. I don't allow other thoughts to come at a time.
How do you do that?
By practicing, sir.
What do you practice?
Every day we are attending Zoom call and I am reading books, sir. And day by day, I am monitoring, I am doing meditation, sir.
But the thought will not stop.
But very rare comes, sir. Really, I am speaking, sir. I have now disturbed very less thoughts. I don't allow bundle of thoughts to come in mind.
You are lucky. It's not about bundle of thoughts. We are not only talking about bundle of thoughts.
Yeah.
You may be caught in one thought. Suppose you have made one mistake and you're feeling guilty of that one mistake. That same mistake thought will keep on grinding you and grinding you and grinding you, right? It will drilling and killing. That one thought may not be many thoughts. Maybe
But,
one
sir,
thought.
I have realized that whatever happened, I can't change.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. Very good. So let me ask one by one. Girish, are you ready to go? Are you caught in thought? Then I want Bliko, I want Sudeep. I'll go one by one on the screen. Girish, are you caught in thought?
I am caught in thought.
What do you do, Girish? Okay, I'll be because we are going to be honest with each other, right?
CBTY.
But what does it do? It comes and catches you by the neck like this. It catches you by the head. It tries to suffocate you. What does it do?
Yes, when I am caught in thought, this world becomes real.
And you become unhappy, it troubles you, it
Correct.
steals your peace, everything happens.
Everything unwanted, it doesn't.
See, this is the reality all of us must accept. So if you reach a stage of Ashok Chotwani where he says, no, I am okay, thought is not there, then you're very lucky. Very lucky. Because normally, it is very difficult. You have to overcome thought. What Ashok is saying, we have to reach that state, but it's very difficult. It is not about you being enlightened or not being enlightened. That is separate matter. Even the most enlightened person can be caught in thought. Because that is, maybe it's coming from prarabdha. Maybe it's coming from some weakness. Maybe it's coming from some, we don't know from where. But this is a problem. And somehow we have to overcome it. Bliko, are you ready, Bliko? Chandra,
Yes,
we are coming to you in a couple of minutes. Bliko.
Yeah. Shivoham, everybody.
Shiva.
So this thought is always try to drag me also. And once it drags, I immediately understand, because the first indication is it will steal your peace.
Correct.
You get a little bit upset. So at that time, I will immediately remember that I have to stop it stupid. So I have to stop that dragging business of that thought. Even if it is a single thought, I will say, okay, enough. I'll just break myself very hard and stop the thought, and I start immediately thinking of something else to eliminate that thought.
Very good.
That's the way I do it. And most of the time, nowadays, I'm getting more control over that. So this stop it stupid is a great mantra for that.
Excellent. But we need some more mantras. Because what happens, see, let me tell you one thing. Bliko's thought is different. My thought is different. Girish's thought is different. We are not talking about the same thought. Each of us is, and Swati is talking of different thoughts. So each of us is caught in a different thought. But the mind behaves the same. The nature of the mind The problem is the mind. The mind is here to steal our peace because that's the job of the mind. The mind wants to steal our peace. It wants to create the ego. It wants to create fear, worry, stress, anxiety. It creates anger, hate, revenge, jealousy by creating ego. This is a normal behavior of the mind, unless you have an abnormal mind. The normal mind is going to do this. And before we have Chandra, we have Sudeep Bhargava. I hope Sudeep is there or no? Yes, Sudeep Bhargava. Thank you, Bliko. Are you caught in thought?
Sure, sir.
Sure.
The thoughts definitely disturb me. There's no doubt, like all the others. But when the thoughts come, I mean, try. At times I do fail, but I try to use my intellect and ask two questions. If it's a internal disturbance which is coming me, I just ask myself that I have got some long run plans and goals to be achieved. Does this thought really affect me? Should I really bother about it? Mostly the answer is no. It's useless. Forget about it. So if it's an internal disturbance, I try to subside that by just asking this question, remind myself, there are some goals that I set for myself, and these thoughts don't really help me in that direction. If it's an external thought, somebody is poking me again and again, then my question is, does that affect you? Are you really bothered about what I'm doing? If I'm doing something, that's my business. So I just try to shut that out. At times people do call me arrogant because of that, but that's okay. Because at least I don't want people to come and poke me unnecessarily. And like you always say, be in the present. Thoughts about the past is something that I want to filter out completely, because past is completely beyond my control. It has already happened what has happened. So I think now time to look into the future. If it's a thought about future, then I might give it a second to think, is it really important to think about this in the future? Because that could be like you always say, a difference between a fear and a danger. So maybe the thought is about a danger, then I can address that thought. Maybe I can take some action over it. But if it's a fear, then again, forget about it. Leave it. When the time comes, we'll see that. That's what I'm trying to do. So to an extent, little bit, I can say it has come down, but still a lot of practice is required for this.
You know, somebody recently told me there's a thought of the fear and the worry of the future. How do I deal with it? And this person was caught in thought. And I normally just wait for SIP to give the answer. And the answer I got is this: when there's a troublesome thought that's troubling. So I told this person that the thought that is troubling you, in which you are caught in a thought. The answer is this. The answer is, why worry? There is no need to worry. Why worry? There is no need to worry. Then, no problem, then there is no need to worry. No problem, then there is no need to worry. If there's no problem, there's no need to worry. If there's a problem, there is no need to worry. If there's a problem, there is no need to worry. How is that now? If you can do something about your problem, then there is no need to worry. Enjoy your curry. Why do you worry? Just don't worry. If there's a problem and you can do something about your problem, then why do you worry? If there is nothing you can do about your problem, then there is no need to worry. Then why worry? Why worry? No need to worry. So if you really see, if you are in, but you cannot do this if you are caught in thought. If the thought has caught you by your neck, it will kill you. Look at the three situations. If there's no problem, there's no need to worry. If there's a problem and you can do something, there's no need to worry. If there's a problem and you can do nothing, then why worry? So end of the story. End of the story. What is the end of the story?
No need to worry.
No need to worry.
Don't worry. What is the point? Because when you worry, you lose. When you worry, you lose your peace. You lose your consciousness. You lose everything. Then you can't think. Because worry will rob your ability of peace. Worry will rob your consciousness. Worry will rob your intelligence. Worry will drop your power of discrimination. Chandra. So this is one solution I gave recently. Chandra.
Sir, so when I get caught in thought, I do this, I flip from mind to consciousness. How do I do it? I become the observer of the thought, the observer that I am, and I observe the thought. Slowly, the flow of aspects around the thought vanishes, and the mind dies, which is the source of the thought.
Very good.
And then I realize there is no need to worry, because I know that I again get in touch with the divine inside when I'm in the conscious level.
Excellent. Very good. Very good. Very well said. That when I get caught in thought, I flip from mind to consciousness. How do I flip from mind to consciousness? You have to withdraw from the thought. You have to separate yourself from the thought. That's the only thing I'm adding to what Chandra said. How do you get to become the witness of the thought, the observer of the thought? You watch it, you catch it, you latch it. You watch it, you catch it, you latch it, you observe the thought. And you say, hello, Mr. Thought. You are thinking I'll get caught, but I won't get caught. You know, sometimes we can be brainwashed. We can be brainwashed by people if we are not in the state of consciousness, if we are not in the witness state. So well said, Chandra. Chidanand, are you ready, Chidanand? I saw you on the screen. Yes, sir.
Yes. Shivam, Guruji.
Shivam, sir.
Thought is actually a mental attitude. You know, it's like judgmental. If you see what is the nature of the thought, it is only illusory. So once you understand that, then you can, flip and be in SIP consciousness. So even if the thought comes, it is nothing to do with the actual experience.
No, but 1 second. Are you telling me, are you caught in thought sometimes or never or occasionally, or what do you do? Tell me first of all,
the
are you
event of
caught
the
in
past. Getting caught in thought was the event of the past.
Now?
Nowadays, no, not necessarily, definitely not, because I know how to flip.
But you get caught and then you flip.
Yeah.
Or you don't get caught. Or you don't get caught.
I don't get caught.
So what happens?
Because if moment you are alert all the time, be in a state of yoga all the time, you are a yogi is a position to identify.
But
this
what
is a
when
sensory experience, this is a non-sensory experience.
But what when your car turned over ulta on 14th of December and you came out and you were not caught in thought?
No, because basically I experience, yes, I was visualizing. The moment the thought comes, this is bad, this is good, this non-sensory thoughts come, I was in the, there was an effort to flip it out, no doubt about it.
When you got that accident, in that moment you were caught in the thought. There's no chance of you not being caught in the thought. How long it took you to get uncaught?
I basically, when the accident happened, I was literally blanked out. The moment there was a complete blank out.
You were conscious or you were unconscious?
Yeah, I was conscious. But there was that momentary this thing was a blank out. So moment.
But was there not a fear? No. What did your thought not tell you how many bones have broken? Have I got head? Is my head hurt? Have I broken my backbone? Did those thoughts come or not?
Actually, it did not.
Then you are good. Then you are good.
It did not. The all thought I got was I just realized, first thing I realized is you only. Sip. That's how the whole perception of experience changed.
See, it is good if we are able to connect to the divine in the moments.
People around me were asking a lot of questions. So I was mentally laughing. Why they are laughing? They were asking a lot of questions. What is your name? What is your... They were trying to see whether I was shaken.
And you're okay or you're not okay.
Yeah. I could see that gap between the perception of people and the way I was perceiving that particular event.
See, let me tell you one thing. It is very natural for us to be caught in thought. Suppose I went to the doctor and the doctor told me, I have to check you for cancer. So when the doctor says, I have to check you for cancer, in that moment, it is very natural for the thought to get us caught. The question is whether we remain caught in thought.
Yes.
So don't think that there's no dadagiri here. No, because as long as
thought will come. Thought definitely comes.
No, the thought will come also, and in thought we will be caught also.
Yes.
Don't see. There are two different things. If the thought always if the thought is an obedient thought and it's always obeying consciousness in the intellect, then you have become Deva. Then you have already become Deva. And actually, according to me, none of us becomes a Deva in its true sense, because we are all.
That is where yesterday when you said ABCD, 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 you
You
have to
understood?
leave
Did
that,
you,
leave that
no,
ABCD.
did you understand why I did not agree to A, B, C, D, 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 and why I
Yeah,
changed? Did you
of course.
understand?
That's because of this, because that A, suddenly the thought will just pop up.
Yeah, because it is
There's no
prarabdha. You
control
cannot.
on it.
No, you cannot stop it. How can you
Yes.
stop that prarabdha from coming?
Correct.
You cannot stop prarabdha.
Yes.
So my point, see, I always tell you all the reality of life. We
Yesterday,
are not
sir,
here to.
sorry. No,
Continue.
yesterday I remembered Sant Tukaram's bhajan. ह्याच्यासाठी केला होता अट्टहास, आखिरचा दिवस गोड व्हावा. So
Means what?
technically, when you leave the breath, if you remember God, then that is the way you achieve moksha.
But that is wrong. No, but
that is all. But that is what exactly it is. When the thought comes, anytime it can come.
Some people, some people they think you have to
There is
go
a story, no, sir, of this Jad Bharat. The king Bharat, actually at last moment he got in the thought of a deer.
And he got reborn as a deer.
And he got, yeah, that is the last moment. Though he was an enlightened soul all throughout.
Yeah. Recently, I've been telling you all recently this, what is that called? Mukti Bhavan. Kashi Labh Bhavan.
Yes.
Kashi Labh Bhavan. So many people are in the queue. Many people are waiting in the queue, because if you go to Kashi Labh Bhavan and you die there, means straight away from that room, from that bedroom, there's a rocket that goes to
that is
Swarga.
Ignorance. Story.
So but what ignorance? Oh, 90% of the people in this world believe it.
That is sad.
So, my dear friends, so today the question is, what do you do? Bliss, can you tell us, Bliss, what happens when you are caught in thought? Bliss, what happens? Are you caught in thought sometime or no?
Yes, often.
What do you, often, very often. What do you do when you are caught in thought, Bliss?
I try to change one to another, and after no talk, I don't want thing, and I cut off.
You try to change from one thought to another thought, from a negative thought to a positive thought. Correct?
Yeah.
But does the thought obey, or it comes back?
Sometimes come back very more strong, and it's very not easy to kill it, but often I'm able to deal with it.
Good. So this is where some of you, even Ashok Chotwani said, and I think Obliko said, it is good to build a strong character. It is good to build a strong personality and fight thought. You watch it, you catch it, you latch it, you become the observer of the thought. But remember this, thought is not going to leave us. Thought is going to create a situation where we are caught. And there is no way that we can say that, thought is in my pocket. No. Thought is going to come back, and thought is like a slippery fish, and it will come like this and like that, and thought, but it's up to us. How are we going to get caught? Are we going to get caught in this thought or not? And this requires, what Chandra said, this is what the book speaks about. Can we be in a state of consciousness? Can we flip? I don't know how many of you have got the coin. Anybody has got the coin? How many of you are holding the coin with you to flip from mind to consciousness? Any of you have got the coin? Because you should get the coin. You should take the coin from me. And the challenge is this. I've showed you many times. Whenever you are in a state, we have to shift, right? We have to shift from a state of mind to a state of consciousness. Ashok Chotwani, have you got the coin or not? Swati is holding the coin as well. You got the coin. So it is very important that it's not that the coin will do anything, but the coin is what makes us do it. The coin, when you look at the coin, and the coin is looking at you and you are seeing mind, 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 turn it around. Because the mind, when it starts drilling you, it starts killing you. So that is a big challenge. Who else would like to tell us about you have been caught in thought? Anybody? Chidanand and Swati still want to say something, but anybody else?
Guruji, I have switched off the video because the disturbance behind me.
Yeah, tell me.
But this thing is, but it requires sadhan chatushtay. See, it is not easy. Because I'd like to give one humble submission to the whole group. You have to do the practice of Dhyana Yoga. If you do meditation every day systematically, you will achieve that skill. Otherwise,
Definitely.
it is only talk, discussion. Yes, we hope to be, we hope for the best, we'll be able to flip. But as my personal experience, I can say, till I was not doing this sadhana on daily basis. Now I have started being in silence started it 15 minutes, half an hour, 1 hour. There's a different sadhana altogether to be in consciousness. But to have the control over this mind and the thoughts creeping up and, be able to observe that the thought is trying to unknowingly pull me. This Dhyana Yoga, what Vivekananda said, you should practice all the 4 yogas.
Yeah.
I feel that disciplined practice actually saves one from
So Chidanand,
get
what
that
you're
skill
saying,
is acquired.
what you're saying, let's elaborate a little bit on what you're saying. So my dear friends, what Chidanand is saying, that we all experience a storm within us. There is a storm. And if you do Dhyana Yoga, which means that if there is you learn to still the mind. You still the mind. And to still the mind, you need to still the senses. The eyes, the nose, the ears, the tongue, the skin. You need to shut off your 5 senses. You need what is called uparati, pratyahara. In Patanjali's yoga, he talks about yama, niyama, asana, pranayama, pratyahara, dharana, dhyana, samadhi. How do you reach that state of samadhi? The state of samadhi is called a state of consciousness. It's called a state of chaturya. How do you reach that state of chaturya, where you become a witness, you become an observer? How? So this needs practice. What is the practice all about? The practice is the practice of stillness, the practice of consciousness. Therefore, spending time in silence is important. Spending time in meditation is important. Spending time in dhyana yoga, in bhakti yoga, jnana yoga, karma yoga. All yogas are important. Because if you don't spend time in yoga, then you will slip into bhoga. And you'll be caught in thought. What is bhoga? Bhoga is a state where you're caught in thought. And yoga is a state when with the divine you tie a knot. Bhoga is a state where you are caught in thought. And yoga is a state when with the divine you tie a knot. So are you tying a knot with the divine? Have you connected? For me, both my hands, I try to hold the divine. Because if you're holding the demon, the mind, the rascal, the ego, if you're holding the demon in your hands are going to burn. How are you going to be? How are you going to? Then why do we say sometimes when we say, Mere dil mein bas ek tum hi ho? We have to have that. Also, a very important way of not being caught in thought is what is called self-suggestion or auto-suggestion. तुम ही सब कुछ जानत प्रीतम तेरी इच्छा पूरत हो दुख में सुख में मेरे प्रीतम तेरी इच्छा पूरत हो. So some things like this. What do these things
do? So Dadaji's favorite. Every video talk was to get on TV used to get end with this.
Yes. So what I'm saying is, there are going to be crises in life. If you are thinking that an enlightened person has no crisis, that's a lie. An enlightened person will lose a near and dear one. There will be death. An enlightened person will face disease. An enlightened person will face all kinds of issues. That is why what we spoke yesterday, A, B, C, D, A, B, C, D, A, B, C, D. I saw Krishnan waiting. So Krishnan, are you ready with your question? I'm not
Yes,
sure.
sir. Yes,
Yes.
sir.
Yes,
Shivam.
Shivam.
No one can deny that he's not captured with the thoughts.
Good.
But I think that if we are focused on meditations, we can reduce our thoughts.
Correct.
And on a highway, the vehicles are crossing, and a policeman is there to watch the traffic. But if he's running behind every car or every vehicles, then he cannot play his duty. That's the mind is playing with us. We are attaching with the thoughts and going everywhere. If we are in past, it's give us stress. If we are in future, it's give anxiety to us. We have to focus on present, be in present, just observe the thoughts.
Very good. But still you will be caught in thought. Even if you are in the present, the thought will still catch you, right? Krishnan, you agree? It's not, it is not. So therefore, Krishnan, what we are saying, when we are caught in thought, what you must do, when you are caught in thought, you have to flip over from state of mind to state of consciousness. You have to flip over from state of negative thought to state of positive thought. You have to do meditation, what you just now told. We must spend time in meditation. What is meditation? You still the mind. You still the mind, you kill the mind. Because, let me tell you one thing. Since Krishnan, you are telling one point, let me explain this to you. Suppose one thought is coming. Just look at my hand and my finger. This thought is coming gently. Gently, gently the thought is coming. It's not such a problem. But if the thought is coming like that, then what happens?
It creates problem.
It creates what you told. It creates anxiety. It creates fear. It creates aggression. This aggression becomes a depression. You start losing hope. You start losing faith. You start losing trust.
So we have to focus on yoga and meditations.
Yeah, yoga, meditation, you have to, no doubt. I told you what is yoga. Today I told you, yoga is with the divine when you tie a knot. Today something new I'm telling you. Yoga is with the divine when you tie a knot, K-N-O-T, knot. Bhoga is when in thought you are caught. In bhoga, you are caught in thought. In yoga, with the divine, you tie a knot. This is the difference. Are you willing to tie a knot with the divine? Yes, Ashok and Swati. Ashok Chotwan.
Guruji.
हाँ माताजी बताइए.
Guruji, to tell you frankly, when we see somebody's death is dying, then the thought immediately comes in the mind. We may be left alone, but then I immediately come back to consciousness by thinking that I will go before my husband. So that change has now, after listening to you so much, now I come back immediately to consciousness that no, nobody knows who has to go. I will go before him.
तो आपने गाना आप वो
You
गाना
are caught in thought sometimes.
So what is the reality of death? वो गाना आप गाते हैं नहीं गाते हैं? मौत का गाना गाते नहीं गाते? You should be singing this song every day. ये song क्या है? If you don't have, please take it from me. The song is मौत की सच्चाई क्या है, हम कभी ना मरते हैं, हम तो इस शरीर से मुक्त होते हैं जब ये तन मरता है. माता जी, हम तो अमर आत्मा है, आत्मा कभी ना मरती है, एहसास जब होता है हम तन मन्ना संसार से मुक्त होते हैं. करेक्ट? मौत की सच्चाई क्या है? This is a beautiful song to eliminate the thought of death.
Guruji, kindly send.
Okay, so I hope I will remember to send it to you, and you must know the next time you have to sing this song. Tomorrow you have to sing. Once I send you next day, you must sing it because this is the way. Rumata ji, हम कभी नहीं मरते रूमाता जी, ये तन तो मरेगा ना.
Yes,
आप तो रूह है ना.
Yes.
आप रूह है, आप तो अमर
Then
हैं.
also we forget. Then
नहीं,
also we forget.
not forget, because in thought you are caught, therefore you forgot.
Yes.
Because in thought you were caught, that's why you forgot. But you should not be caught in thought. Ashok Chotwani.
Sir, nowadays mostly thoughts are coming due to our ego. If we see sip in everyone and don't take their negative thinking or negative saying, so we can reduce our negative thoughts, sir.
Yeah, but the question is, you may be reducing your thought, but today we are in a different discussion.
Yeah.
Today we are saying, Chotwani, when you're caught in thought, na Chotwani, suppose you're caught in a thought, जैसे रू माता जी ने कहा, suppose रू माता जी ने कहा, there's a thought of death. The thought of death that does not come like Krishnan told. When even Krishnan brought this point up, the thought of death does not come as a gentle thought. The gentle thought we can deal with in consciousness. The problem is the thought comes and attacks us. And when the thought attacks us, then what do? Then
we
you're
have to
caught.
use consciousness. Yeah, we have to use consciousness.
No, you have not. We have to. I know you have to escape from the mind. You have to kill the mind. We have to still the mind. It's not easy.
Yeah.
So let us not presume, oh, it's very easy. जो AiR बोलता है AiR में आके बहुत easy है ऐसा. No, today we are in an advanced session.
Yeah.
My dear friends, I do not believe that any of us can escape the situation where we will be caught in a thought. We all will experience it. The question is, how can we unwind? How can we escape that situation where we are caught? How can we tie a knot with the divine? Because only when you tie a knot with the divine, correct?
We have to surrender, sir. Yeah, surrender to.
Surrender, no, not surrender only. Ashok Chotwani, suppose you are in a building and the building is got 30 feet water all over. You are on the 40th feet of the building on the terrace. 30 feet पूरा शहर डूब गया है. अभी डूब गया है, आप terrace पे खड़े हैं. सब लोग मर रहे हैं. Everybody is dying. You are on top of the terrace. Now a helicopter comes and helicopter throws the rope. What you must do?
We'll run to catch. Yeah.
You have to not catch. You have to catch it and latch it and tie a knot. And you tie a knot and then the helicopter will lift you. Sometimes you need the grace of the divine. You need the power of SIP.
Yes.
Are you getting my point?
Yeah,
because
yes,
when you realize that I am SIP is inside me, छोड़ जो भी है thought में जो ठीक है ना, कैंसर होगा तो डील करेंगे ना, कोई चोर है, कोई डाकू है, साला सामने आएगा, ठीक है ना. How do you overcome the fear? How do you overcome the worry? Because the fear is not a danger. Still, we become stressed out, we become anxious, we are caught in the thought. So therefore, today's session is very important. Don't underestimate the session today, because we all will reach this situation. But how are we going to escape from the situation? Swati.
Swati? I wanted to ask you a question. Am I audible?
Yeah, continue.
Yeah. So I wanted to ask, is a thought always a negative thought, or is being caught in a thought is a negative phrase, or it can be a positive phrase also? Like you can be caught in a positive thought also.
Thought can be positive or negative. But mind is always negative.
Okay.
So consciousness with intellect is positive.
Right.
So you don't get confused. The question is, when the moment you are caught in a thought, it refers to the mind. Because when you are in consciousness and the intellect is dealing with a thought, you are not caught. You are not caught. Okay. The moment you are caught in a thought, therefore it is negative. It is the mind.
Okay, so the phrase is itself a negative phrase.
Yeah, no, did you understand? Because when you are when your thought is of the intellect, then you are not caught. Then you are free to discriminate. You're free to do this way. But when you're in the thought of the mind, are you free?
No.
Then you're caught.
Okay.
Then you're not. Then you're not positive. Then you're negative because it's in the mind state, and we have to get out of the mind state.
Okay.
Gunwanti, yes, Gunwanti.
शिवो मैम
बोलो.
कर्मा और भगवान में से क्या चुनना है?
कर्मा और भगवान. कर्मा को आप चुनो ना चुनो, कर्मा आपको चुनेगा. You cannot escape from karma. And भगवान को आपको चुनना नहीं, because भगवान आपके अंदर है. आप ना चुनेगी भी तो आप भगवान ही है. लेकिन from your point of view जो आप क्वेश्चन पूछ रहे हैं, हमें कर्मा को भी मानना है और भगवान को भी मानना है. We must accept and live with the law of karma, and without SIP, without a God. And let me tell you, my dear friends, how much ever we talk about SIP, it all starts with a personal God. It all starts with Hanuman, Ram, Krishna, Shiva, Ganesh. We need a personal God to start our journey. Unless there is bhakti, there cannot be bhakti yoga. So therefore, we should not think that. So both Gunwanti, both we need to accept karma, and we also need to believe in God. My dear friends, I have to close the session. I have finished crossing my time. So my thought is this. My thought without being caught. My thought without being caught is this. The best way not to be caught in thought, just tie a knot. The best way not to be caught in thought, just tie a knot. Tie that knot. I'm giving you one simple answer. Tie a knot. And if you tie a knot, you have faith and hope and trust and surrender and acceptance. Just tie a knot. And everything can be forgot. With folded hands, I bow down to you.